Cable crossovers are a great exercise for any grappler in any type of combat sport because we're going to be pulling a lot, and that's what we do. When we pull someone into a throw, or we pull them down to the mat, we're pulling in a lot. And you're using a lot of muscles. You're using your delts, your upper back, certainly your arms, and your pectoral area here. You're using the entire breadth of your pectoral. And cable crossovers really develop this whole area. You can still do bench presses, that's great. Still do military presses, push presses, those are great too. I don't advocate a lot of bench presses for grapplers for a couple of reasons. One, when you start getting heavy benching, okay, the likelihood of you having some rotator cuff injuries is very great. I've torn both my rotator cuffs pretty severely and had them operated on, and also had other work done on my shoulders. So, believe me when I tell you guys, if you do start doing heavy bench presses, you will pay for it in the long run from injury-wise. Now, it will make you very strong. It is ideal for bodybuilding. It is ideal for general strength development as well. But don't get too many of them. You could get injured. Also, if you bench press too much, I know this is about cable crossovers, but I do want to mention how these are a good alternative to benches. If you bench press too much, you get kind of a forward slope on your shoulders. Many years ago, I was bench pressing quite heavy, and I got that forward slope in my shoulders. And a good friend of mine, Bob Corwin, a great judo coach, but certainly really knows his kinesiology and biomechanics and everything, he said, hey, here are some exercises you can do to get your shoulder girdle straightened up, your upper body straightened up. Because I was having this, and it was pulling, and it wasn't good. So for grapplers, you want to have a good, firm foundation in your whole body, but certainly your shoulder area, and you don't want to have this forward slope, and it really is important to have good, straight shoulders. And so if you bench press too much, you will get that, and this, by doing cable crossovers, you get the full movement. You tend not to get that forward slope. Another thing for cable crossovers that is very pertinent to what we do, like I said earlier, we do a lot of pulling. We do a lot of pulling. So I know I'm yapping too much. Let's start to get to the movements here. Again, I use I bought it on eBay, I believe. I can't remember. I had to go to the website of the company I bought it from. I don't get any remuneration for it, but I bought it from Powerline, and it's a really good unit. I've had it for a lot of years here in my home gym. But I've had a cable crossover in just about every gym I've worked in. I've used it a lot. So here's what it looks like. You have let me describe it here. If you don't have one, you're not used to this, it's a cable crossover. You have cables on each end holding weight. Some have a stacked weight, some are plate loaders like mine. And up here, and it's pretty solid. And you have a unit here. Now you can have them adjustable. Mine aren't, but you can have them adjustable in different heights if you want to use it, which is great. But I have it a little higher here. So you've got handle here. You've got a handle here. Okay, I've got a moderate amount of weight on each end. You don't have to. In fact, I would not recommend using a lot of weight. I would use weight you can do good strict movements with. Good technique is important on the mat. Good technique is important in the weight room too. But as you can see how I'm holding here. Now I'm going to show you different ways of doing cable crossovers. They work slightly different parts of the body, and so play with the ones you like to work best and work best for you. The basic one I do a lot. I just stand my ground, nice solid stance here, look straight ahead, and I just kind of do what a crunches type thing. I just pull in like this, extend all the way out, curl it all the way in, and I hold it, and I can feel holding it in my chest and in my pecs, my inside pecs. I hold it for a second and out, hold it for a second and out, and I kind of look down as I do that. You can look straight ahead if you want to, which is probably better form, but you see how you're doing it here. And this is the basic way that I do it, that a lot of guys do it. You'll see in gyms, just like this. It's all the way out, then crunch it all the way in. See how I'm moving my hands? All the way out, all the way in. This is ideal for grappling sports because we pull, even if you're wrestling, no gi grappling, MMA. You hook a guy, you suck him into you. This really works that type of thing, the type of muscles you would be using for that. Now that's the basic way I do the cable crossovers. There's some other ways to do them as well. The other way, which is the more standard way probably, 1 foot forward, out here, and you bring them in front of you. So I'll show you what that entails. Get your units here, your handles. One leg forward, look straight ahead, straight out in front. And you can see, try to keep good form all the way out, all the way in front. And each time you can see it. You can cross them over, they're called cable crossovers, because if you want to cross over, you can. I don't particularly like that way of doing that movement. Some guys do, because especially if they do more bodybuilding, because they pull it, you feel it more in here in your interior part of your pec, which is great for bodybuilders. I would highly recommend that. Another way that is useful for us a lot, what I call, they're still cable crossovers, but they're the side cable crossover curls. This is very useful for what we do because we do a lot of pulling like this. This is ideal for this. Hand sideways. And you just curl it in. You can have 1 foot forward if you want, that's fine. I usually have my feet like this. Your foot position is just something that gives you balance, that's all it is, okay? You don't want to swing the weight either. You don't want to swing, you don't want to, like that. You could hurt yourself. And it's poor form, doesn't do what you want it to do. So I stand here, curl. And when you curl, really curl it in to your chest. This is ideal for what we do, this type of movement, because getting a lot of biceps work, a lot of interior deltoid work here, because when you pull people, this is great for sucking them in, pulling them into you. This replicates that movement a lot. I would highly recommend these.